Welcome back to Snodden Town TV. I'm with the joint managers today. It's Tuesday evening against Whitstable. First of all, before I get on to tonight's game, guys, thank you for joining us. It's been a couple of weeks since we caught up, and that.
It has.
Yeah, I think the last time I spoke to you, we were looking ahead to the Hollands and Blair game, Groundhopper
Groundhopper, yeah.
weekend, and all that comes with that, playing in front of a bigger crowd, which I think it was one of those strange kind of games that we felt probably deserved more than we got, but actually in the last couple of minutes, the way the game was going, probably lucky to get what we got. Really, so tell us your thoughts about how your mindset was after that game. First of all,
Look, I thought we made a lot of the running in the game. I thought we probably had a lot more quality. I thought we showed that we were there to play football, and it was a stark contrast to the opposition on the day. For anyone who was at the game, look, we had a go. I think we got hit on the counter for one, and it was a penalty for the other.
Yeah.
But other than that, look, I think again, you see that we're trying to play the right way. We're trying to play that entertaining sort of football.
and I think on that day as well, it must have been pleasing that 2-1 down going into injury time, the boys were still fighting. They didn't give up. It shows a different kind of resilience to maybe what we saw earlier in the season.
A great time to score. A great time to score, and I think we were worthy of it. Of course, across the 90 minutes, I thought we was probably the better team, and we deserved something out of that game, but arguably more.
Okay, and then forward a week after that, I think it was the Faversham Strike Force Senior Cup game, which again got off to an absolute flyer in that one and looked like it was going to be fairly plain sailing.
Yeah, we did. We was 2-0 up early, and again a bit of another little learning curve. Just rewind one bit there on the Hollands and Blair was if you don't win, it was important that we didn't get beat. We then went into that game at Strikeforce, started ever so well, but then just took a little bit of foot off the gas. And the players were aware of that. There was a few words with them personally at half time. And we were just talking about being a bit more relentless, If you're on top, stay on top. Don't let anyone in the game. Keep pushing, and go and score more.
So through to the next round of that particular trophy, which is obviously pleasing.
Yeah.
And last week, the FA Vase, bit of history made, first time ever into the second round of the FA Vase. That must have been pleasing as well.
Yeah, buzzing for the club. Firstly, the effort, the trust they show in us. Everything else, the financial side of things, and everything they do for us, the sponsorship. What a great day for the club, and football-wise, again, I think we're the better team. We make a lot of the running, most of the chances. Yeah, we rode our luck. They had a couple of minutes here and there throughout the game, and they had a couple of chances. But across that, we're just buzzing to be through to the next round. Yeah, as you can probably imagine, absolutely over the moon.
And we'll be talking about that in a bit more detail in the coming weeks, because we got the draw yesterday has paired us with Guernsey at home, a home draw finally.
Yeah, which
will be great for us.
100%.
So we'll look forward to that. I won't go into too much detail about that, but tonight, tough night at the office, I guess.
Yeah, I think the game changed. The minute Justo gets sent off, all of a sudden you're in for an hard night. Look, we've been on a hell of a run. The lads have done ever so well. We get to that point where little moments can change everything, and tonight that changed this game clearly. Maybe at 2-0 we might have had a better chance, but then when they nick 3, it's always going to be an uphill battle from there. So we just said second half we'll still try to do the right things, but we just said in the right moments. And then I think we came out, they scored quite early, didn't they? A bit of a soft goal. But then it just showed in moments, if you keep your discipline, keep your quality, Manny goes and scores a great goal. There's a little bit of belief there in the group. People, you know, putting massive shifts in, charging about. But we move on from it.
How easy is it to get the boys to just take this one result in isolation and say, do you know what, we were down to 10 men, we didn't have a goalkeeper, we've put up a good fight, we've played some good football at times, we scored a good goal, and we've been on a 10, 11 game unbeaten one, whatever it's been, put it behind you, get on with the next game. We've got a big game coming up at the weekend at Punjab, and switch back into, you know, trying to reel, have that belief again.
You've said exactly what we said at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Draw a line under it, forget about it, we move on. You know, there's another game, there's another opportunity, and Saturday it couldn't come sooner. You know, it's perfect time to go to Punjab, put it right. We'll pick a side and adjust things slightly for the weekend, and we'll go there with the same mindset. Let's go and get 3 points.
The goalkeeper.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've already had a couple of lads that we've been looking at, but yeah, we will be looking at another keeper to step in. But yeah, look, there's no getting around it. Losing your keeper has killed you. There's no getting around that. The only downside to it would have been nice to see if we'd have kept 11 versus 11. It would have been really good to see what this group was capable of, and I think not only have we lost 3 points, we've just lost out on an opportunity to see something, which is probably more disappointing, I would say, to see, like we said before the game, like where we actually sit. You know, if someone looks at that result, 5-1 or whatever it was,
they're not going to know the full story.
It's a shame. It is a shame.
Yeah.
But the beauty of it is, like, moving back to your point, where what you said, like, how do you move on from it? Well, quite easily. You know, if you play a game with 10 men and one of them being your keeper, it's quite easy to write that off, isn't it? Realistically, you know, it's not as if you've either been killed by a late goal or you know, or you've been played off the park. You have 10 men, I've got 11. You'd expect the odds say that must go that way. So yeah, I think it's fairly easy to move on from that.
It would have been a tough game with 11. I think we spoke briefly before the game, and you said they were going to come at us with everything, and you knew what to expect anyway.
Yeah, 100%.
It would have been a tough game with 11 men.
Yeah.
So with 10, it was always going to make it that bit more difficult.
Was.
So I guess, like you touched on it, second half there was still some aspects of the football that was played that were quite pleasing, I think.
Yeah, definitely. There was some good moments in the game. Like, we do some good things. It's just always hard when you're one man down. You know, it's always going to be tougher. So, but there was good glimpses, good goal, a lot of shifts put in, many positives. The negatives we need to deal with, and then, you know, like you say, we'll come Saturday, and the mindset will be exactly the same.
I look forward to it. I wish you the best of luck. I'll
Nice
see
one.
you there.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers,
As always.
Top man,